I just got laid off. Now what? That's the question hundreds of thousands of people are asking themselves this morning as the newest wave of layoffs is being announced. And I've been in that same situation myself multiple times. Let's see if I can remember them. As an apprentice electrician, that was just part of the job. Being laid off on a regular basis because working in the chemical plants and oil plants in the Beaumont, Port Arthur area means that the jobs only last for so long. You work for a contractor for weeks or months, the job's over, you get laid off, you start over again looking for another job. And then later on it was Lucent Technologies. It was a spinoff from AT&T. They went bankrupt roughly 2 years after I hired on. Then there was MCI WorldCom. Hired on with them just after they started building out data centers. That one lasted roughly two years and a few months. They declared bankruptcy. So that was the end of that job. And most recently in 2024, lost my job again. Sorry, had a bug on my finger. Didn't know whether he was just tasting me or was gonna take a bite. These hot, sweaty Texas mornings, he probably just after a little bit of moisture and some salt, but you never know. Anyway, corporation takeover took my last job in 2024. They started cutting back. And so that's where I am now. But here's the thing, it can seem really scary at first because you don't have a plan of action. That's why you need to start planning now. Not that it's gonna happen to you, but it's possible. And you'll have the confidence of knowing what to do, or at least what you think you should be doing. First off, realize that most likely you're gonna be able to apply for unemployment, so you'll get some sort of income. The second thing I did was I started cutting back on everything. Look at every expense I had. Phone bills, internet bills, eating out. I got defensive really quick. Cutting back on non-essential things like eating out, going to movies, reducing my cell phone plan to the cheapest one I could get by with, buying everything that was on sale. My grocery bill, my groceries consisted of whatever was on sale that week, and then stocking up on it when it was on sale because it might not be on sale the next week. But you have an advantage in that you have an advantage with the age of AI. The very tool that's causing a lot of these layoffs can be used against it to get your next job. You can actually have AI teach you what you need to know for free if you know how to set it up properly. And there's a really bigger picture that no one's really paying attention to. And that is that every job can be affected by the AI layoffs. Plus you got the combination of the oil shortages, driving up the prices of everything. But that means in general, people are going to be cutting back on their spending. I saw a recent report where the higher income earners now are switching over from Target and Aldi to Walmart to get their daily essentials. It's called the Walmart Index, I believe. So don't think because you're in a trade skill or you're not working in technology that you won't be affected by this, because it's a bigger picture story. Between AI replacing technology workers and automating routine tasks, the oil shortages, the inflation going up, the dollar decreasing in value, everybody's going to be cutting back on their expenses eventually. The smart ones start cutting back now, but that's going to impact the overall demand for products, services, and maybe even your job. But here's how you can take the AI tool that is causing a lot of layoffs and turn it against itself. So my first suggestion is to go down into the comments or in the description box and get my free set of prompts to AI-proof your career. It's 4 prompts that uncover the skills that you already have that AI can't replace, no coding required. That'll get you started off on the right pace for using AI. If you're not already using it in your life, you might as well start now because it's going to become a part of everybody's life. So first thing, don't panic. Just like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says, don't panic. You have time. Gather your resources. One of the first things I would do would be to open up my favorite free AI tool, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude.ai, or Gemini.google.com, Perplexity, and open up a project folder or a notebook. That way, those projects and notebooks can collect all of your different thoughts and ideas and keep it all in context. You could open up multiple chat sessions inside each one of these folders or notebooks, ask different questions in each chat session, and it keeps a running context of everything going on in that one project. You can upload files, images, you can put in custom notes, all these things to use AI to help you plan and develop your next move. So for example, the one I set up is just called Job Hunt. Later it became custom resume and cover letter writer because I developed it over time so that it had all my skills. I had a document with all my skills in it, everything I had been learning after I got separated from my job. It had all copies of all my resumes back to the beginning of time. I had it ask me a series of questions. I just got laid off. What is my first move? And it documented all that kind of stuff. It told me what to do next, what the priorities are. For example, assessing all of your resources, beginning with, do you get severance pay? Can you apply for unemployment? Did you get letters of recommendation from everybody you can think of from work and through your network of friends? And it just develops this huge portfolio of information about you. So when you do start applying for work, in my case, I feed it the job description. It translates the job description keywords into relevant skills that it knows about me. It writes my resume truthfully. If I don't have a skill, then it doesn't put it on the resume. But if there's a corresponding title for a skill I already have that is mentioned in the job description, it translates that over into a real skill I already have. So it makes it very easy for whoever is reading my resume to say, oh yeah, this guy's a good fit. No, this guy's not a good fit. I make it as frictionless as possible for whoever is reading my resume to know whether I'm a fit for the job or not. And the same thing goes for my cover letter. It writes a custom cover letter based on the job description, and it translates my previous experience into keywords they would understand. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, and it didn't happen for me overnight. And the day I discovered Project Folder, the notebooks, I was like, oh man, this is like a filing cabinet for everything pertaining to one topic. Now, not every AI platform, web-based platform that is, offers this option. I've only tested it out in ChatGPT, Claude.ai, and Google.gemini.com, or just Gemini, if you want to call it that. They offer either a folder or a project notebook option to keep track of all your conversations, all your documents. There are limitations on it, but overall, it's a very good, handy tool that you can access almost anywhere, and you can ask questions, and it cross-references all your information. So don't get in a big hurry to do this. Start out with just one step at a time, one small step. Set up your project folder, name it, start your first conversation. Simply say, I just got laid off. What do I do next? Give me simple, straightforward steps. Ask me one question. Wait for my response. Ask me the second question. Treat me like I am an 8-year-old. Be brief as possible. That works for me. Sometimes it'll get too verbose in asking its questions, or it starts using technical language, which I don't talk in that language. Like the word ubiquitous. What the hell does that mean? I know what it means, but it starts using big words, and I like to be more clear and precise on what it's asking me so I have a really good idea of what I'm telling it so that we're both on the same page. That's the main thing. So let's assume you've got your job search folder set up with all your resumes and skills. You have all your job searches running, so you're getting emails on a daily basis about possible job openings you could apply for and feed those into the job search folder. Somewhere along the line, I do a financial analysis. I figure out how much money I got coming in, how much money I got going out. I have to do that with pencil and paper. Now you can just feed it to AI. I can feed it my bank statements. I can feed it my credit card statements. I can give it a general idea of how much money I have coming in from unemployment and any other work-related income, gigs, severance pay. Sorry, I'm looking around because the squirrel's demanding peanuts right now. That should keep him busy for at least 5 seconds. Anyway, I'm feeding all that into another project folder, if not the same project folder. Preferably, I'd put it in a separate project folder for finance. Keep my topics separated. So I know how much money I have coming in, how much money I got going out, and that's when I start asking questions about what can I cut back on? Can I switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? Could I cut back on entertainment, going out to eat? Can I switch over to buying whatever's on sale at the grocery store and cook my own food? It really depends on your lifestyle and what you're willing to cut back on. But this is just a good starting point. That's how I have done things in the past and how I'm doing it now. The third thing I would do is set up a project folder on, I guess the best way to describe it is what my next plan of action is. Am I going to go back for more training? Am I going to go back to college? Do I want to switch careers? There's a huge demand for the trade skills, plumbing, electricians, anything working with your hands, especially the ones that involve making decisions in unique circumstances, not the things that AI can do with robotics, such as assembly line, digging ditches in a straight line. That's where you go back to your job search folder and pull out those skills that AI can't replace and see if you can either pivot to a different job title or a parallel job. You can just flat out ask it, what kind of jobs could I pivot to that AI is not going to be replacing anytime soon? So now you got 3 folders set up. You got one for your job search and resume and cover letter creator. You got one for your finances, and you got a third one which is going to be helping you plan out where you're going to go next. I would even suggest you take the free courses available out there from Anthropic or Google on learning a little bit more about AI. They're completely free, and you have the time, might as well take them now. They'll look good on your resume no matter what, because it doesn't matter what your skill set is, where you're going to be working. In the next year or two, maybe even sooner, they're going to be asking you on the job application, what AI platforms do you use? Are you familiar with AI? Do you know what agentic AI is? And taking these free courses in your spare time, you can take them at your own pace, will at least give you familiarity with the concept behind AI and what it can't do right now. So I think I've given you quite a bit to work on for right now. I don't want to overload you with it. If you have any of your own war stories about getting laid off and what tips and tricks you used to survive the layoff and get your next job, I'd love to hear from you. Put them down in the comments below. Or if you have further questions about things that I didn't cover, that I didn't think to cover, let me know about that too. I'll try my best to answer every comment I get. And once again, if you're looking to AI proof your career, grab my free prompt kit. The 4 prompts will tell you what skills you have that AI can't replace. It'll tell you what AI can replace, no coding required. And this is the one thing people forget about.